So our network, what?
We're not live yet. So he is that camera at K99.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. All right, thanks for checking in here on the live stream on WIBW.com and everywhere else. This is a live look downtown Topeka. We're seeing snow flurries here at the TV station on the west side of town right now. Nothing too heavy yet, but some parts of northeast Kansas starting to see the snow accumulate. This is a live look in Concordia this is located on top of Clyde County Community College, and you can see the parking lot there across the street. Does have snow accumulation now, and every snowflake that falls is going to stick. There's not going to be any of this melting on contact or any of that. Everything that falls is going to stick very effectively, and the roads will become slick very fast with this. So the winds are northeast 9 miles per hour, creating a wind chill. It feels like 15 below zero. The temperature is right at zero, but the snow has begun there in Concordia at Clyde County Community College. Now, in Council Grove, this camera is kind of away from the lights there, so I have it zoomed, I have it pointed down toward the lights on the tower itself, so I can see the ground, and I do see some snow coverage there, and in the lights I can see some snowflakes there. So it is snowing in Council Grove now as I check out that camera. And if you do want to comment or ask us questions, we're going to try to check out some of those on Facebook and talk to you this evening. So if you have questions and you're on Facebook, holler us there. We'll try to look at YouTube and those things as well, but there's so many different channels to keep up with that we'll do the best we can to answer a few questions and check your storm spotter reports. Let us know what you've got going on. So if we don't get to everybody, we're going to try to talk to some folks here. We'll see how it goes. Wind chill values are awful, 10 below in Topeka, minus 15 Concordia. The temperature is the coldest in Concordia right now, 0 degrees. Now let's look outside live in Emporia now, seeing enough snow starting to cover the road a little bit in downtown. That's on top of the Lyon County History Center is where this camera is located there in Emporia. And let's check out KDOT. This is located, that's going to be on I-70 just west of K99. Let's check out a couple more cameras there as well. We'll go down I-70 a little farther to the west. There's what it looks like in Junction City on I-70 where you can see snow is covering the interstate now. It's a little closer look from that same tower near Highway 77 at I-70. And then going down I-70, this is exit 299. And I wouldn't say the entire road is covered in snow, but it's getting close to it. So the farther east you go, there's a little less snow. The farther west you go, there is more snow. It's been falling a bit longer. So we get the Chapman exit, more snow on the highway there, near Abilene. And Dodge City had a lot, actually Garden City, I've got that all mixed up. Was it Great Bend that had the snow? Yeah, there's Great Bend, lots of snow there on the roads. And Garden City and also Dodge City had quite a bit of snow. This is the Garden City area. Look at this one. So plenty of snow there on the highway there on Highway 50 in Garden City. There's another view right there on Highway 50, and you can see the roads are well covered in snow in southwest Kansas. That snow is coming this direction. So we're going to be in snow for much of the night, and it will add up to several inches. By tomorrow morning, we'll have probably 1 to 3 inches on the ground.
All right, Stephanie asked, do you think we will get 6 inches in Topeka?
Okay, Stephanie's asking us on Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. She wants to know we'll get 6 inches of snow in Topeka, and that's a good possibility. To really get to 6 inches of snow, we need to see some come down tomorrow evening. Most of what falls tonight through tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon is probably going to be 4 or 5 inches in Topeka. But if we start to snow again tomorrow evening, that's where we'll probably start to get up to that's a 6 inches or more category. So Prairie Bend Casino Resort live storm tracker showing some heavier snow now along the Nebraska state line. This batch coming out of Chase County heading for Emporia, that is fairly heavy snow right there coming through the Cottonwood Falls area and Strong City. That'll be in Emporia shortly. And as we zoom out, this is monster snow ongoing down in Oklahoma. That's the stuff that's going to pile up to a foot or more in many spots. Oklahoma, Tulsa, Springfield, Missouri, even down to Branson could have a foot of snow. What we're seeing up here is significant snow, this 4 to 6 inches probably tonight through tomorrow, but the possibility of it getting higher if it continues tomorrow night. But really the worst of this situation is to the south. Doesn't mean we're not getting this. We're still getting snow. It's just far worse for our neighbors down to the south, where there's potential ice storm in Texas and all that too. So here's supercast through the night. 10 p.m. we have widespread snow coming down, moderate intensity most of the time, but it goes on for a long time. It's 1 a.m. still snowing. As we go through tomorrow morning, still snowing through 8 a.m. And this is the updated HRRR model, which is now showing a break in the snow earlier in the day, and it fills back in until 5. So that's a real difference from what we saw earlier on the model, where it showed a break coming from 5 o'clock into the evening, then a second wave. So let's roll this forward and see what happens. There's the second wave, and this is what was showing up before. I'm going to back this up and see that again. That's the first time I've seen this updated this model, and it just came in. So did you see this difference in this, Mitchell? You caught that as well. Is that the first time you saw it too? Or did you catch it a few minutes before I did probably? Okay. All right, so just curious. All right, so this computer model, we showed this earlier, and there's not a big difference on it in how much snow is coming. The difference is just that there's a different time for the break on this. We saw earlier, looked like we would snow right up until about 5 p.m. tomorrow, then catch a break for a few hours, and then it move back in. Now it looks like the break is kind of a different time frame here. All right, so rolling this forward, we're snowing on and off through the night, and this isn't 1 or 2 inches per hour. This is more like an inch every 3 hours. It's not going to pile up very quickly. So 8 a.m., a little break in the snow, fills back in, and the snow's up until 5 p.m., maybe even longer. So it's going to snow a lot of the day. Then the break is tomorrow evening, and then late tomorrow night comes this next batch. So this could be where we see some spots around Emporia, Burlington. If we do see somebody go with a foot of snow or something like that, it's going to be these Emporia, Burlington areas, and that would happen. The total of that would be adding up through Sunday morning. Areas like Topeka to the north, I don't see anybody from Topeka to the north getting a foot of snow. That's just not going to happen. Now on the computer models, and this is a bit higher than what we saw earlier because the timing was showing it continuing all the way through 5 p.m. now. We've got 5.2 showing up Topeka there, 6.3 in Manhattan. Again, the extreme numbers, if we get some really wild, huge numbers, they're going to be south of this red line is what I would expect. But a big part of northeast Kansas is in this 4 to 6 category. We've got 8 on the forecast because 8 is certainly in play, but 4 to 6 is going to be more common from what I see. And if somebody goes really big with one of those double-digit numbers, it's almost surely going to be down here. Go ahead, Mitchell.
But remember, those are 10-to-1 ratios.
Yeah.
So the models are outputting there, so it will be a little bit higher with playing
Sure.
ratios at times.
What Mitchell's mentioning is that the ratio of how much snow from the liquid versus how much snow you actually get is going to be problematic for forecasting this thing. So if you think about dendrites, the classic snowflakes we're familiar with from Christmas cards and those kind of things, and if you think of the shape of a snowflake, it's got that pretty shape to it, all 6 sides and just pretty and all those crystals. This snow could come down as ice needles, hollow columns, all kinds of different shapes. Plates, stellar plates, there's all kinds of different weird shapes that could happen. So those things do mess up or mix with the ratio of how fast the snow will add up. Either way, it's already accumulating in some spots, and with temperatures this cold, it's going to stick on roads effectively, and when it's this cold, it's also much harder to clear. So the road crews have a harder time getting this scooped off with the snow plows. It's also hard to get rid of with the different solutions they use, because once you get down to 0 degrees or 5 degrees, the normal solutions don't work like they do at 30, 32. Most of our snow falls with temperatures closer to 30 and 32. It's very seldom we get significant snow around here with temperatures that are close to 0. So another reminder, make sure you're taking care of your pets, your families, yourselves, everybody in this, and I put the cat on there just to be funny. I actually made this dog myself out of my limited art skills from our weather computer, and named him Fido, of course. The penguin's fine, but make sure they've got the blanket, straw, something to keep them warm. If the blanket gets wet, it's not going to help. Make sure they have unfrozen water. If they have to be outside, if your pets have to be outside in this, make sure you're taking care of them. If you can't bring them inside, if you only bring in Fido 2-3 times a year because of extreme cold, this is one of those times with the wind chill 10 to 20 below zero. We don't see this very often. Really, 20 below zero is something that's really rare around here. So, bring in Fido if you can, as they're dealing with this extreme cold, and it's just as dangerous for them as it is for us. Mitchell, you want to show some stuff for a while?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead and switch over to Max 2. Mitchell's going to give us some stuff.
All right. First alert weather days are in place.
Is your mic on?
Mic on?
I don't know.
Can you hear on your IFB?
I hear him now. Is he on? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
All right. First alert weather days go from today into Sunday. Through midnight, mostly dry for most areas. Any snow will be from trace amounts to around 1 inch. Midnight through around 12 p.m., so lunchtime tomorrow, 1 to 4 inches of snow is possible, with breaks for many in the afternoon potentially. But by tomorrow night, we will be seeing an additional 2 to 4 inches of snow, mainly along and south of I-70. So overall, there will be a lull that you may be able to get out, maybe play in some snow, maybe even make a snowman if you're out there too long. You don't want to be out there too long, though, because it will be frigid tomorrow, and there will be the threat for frostbite with how cold the wind chills and the actual temperatures will be, along with that snow being out there. And that snowpack will make it feel even colder than that, maybe. Prairie Baron Casino and Resort live storm tracker currently showing that we just have a massive snow over Kansas and Oklahoma. Some ice in Texas and Arkansas as well. A lot of that will be snow and ice for the southern states, but while in the northern states, it will be snow. And so it just is a really big mess along the central and southern plains right now. 3 degrees right now in Manhattan, 5 degrees in Topeka, 4 in Emporia, 12 in Wichita, 6 in Hayes, and 5 in Colby. Overall, lots of snow showing up on the radar. Some of this may not be making it to the ground right now because of dry air that is intruding between where the snow is falling and between the ground. So some of it may not be seen at the surface where all of us humans are. But overall, there are places, especially with these darker blues and slate grays, that snow may actually be falling to the ground. And so that's where we're looking at mainly, to look on our cameras and look on all of our resources to see if there's actual snow falling to the ground, which there are places that there is some snow falling into the ground, such as Concordia. I saw some cameras with some snow in Manhattan, Council Grove as well. It's really moving from the west to east now, and we'll start to see some accumulation as we go throughout the next couple hours. Overall, your advisories, watches, and warnings extend from around Arizona all the way up to Maine, as you can see, and that is a total of 2,323.5 miles, which is just a large chunk of the United States, over half of the United States actually, and over 200 million people. So we're not the only ones dealing with this hassle right now. But overall in Northeast Kansas, we're dealing with winter weather advisories. We are also dealing with winter storm warnings and cold weather advisories. Just to our south, some extreme cold warnings down there. But zooming on in right now, we are seeing a winter storm warning until Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that is for 4 to 8 inches of snow in the northeastern Kansas area. And so that's something we will be watching throughout the next day or two for all of y'all here on WIBW. And then for the northernmost portions along the Kansas-Nebraska border, we have a winter weather advisory until Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we also have a cold weather advisory till Monday at 12 p.m. because it's going to be even cold Monday morning with that snow on the ground still. And we will have wind chills upwards of into the negatives and maybe even into the double-digit negatives, into the teens there. And so it will be cold by the time we start your work week as well. And you'll want to bundle up throughout the weekend into Monday. Overall right now you can see a dusting of snow right now in Concordia from the hospital on our Midland exterior sky cam. And so we are seeing snow in northeastern Kansas once again. The winds are also pushing that snow around, so it could cause some visibility issues. You can see maybe some snow in Manhattan as well from the parking lot outside Bill Snyder Family Stadium, and just the haze kind of tells us that we may be seeing some snow. Even if it's melting before it makes it to the ground, it's melting right above the surface level or evaporating because of that dry air. And as we take a look in Council Grove, you can see a little bit of that grass down there is starting to turn white, and you can see some drops or snowflakes going through the tower that we have there as well. So we are seeing some snow falling in Council Grove. And in Emporia, you can see that a band of snow just came through and dropped a little bit of a dusting, maybe still snowing there, but right now some flurries overall, not heavy snow in downtown Emporia. And Maple Hill right now, visibility isn't great out there because it's dark and there's not much lighting out there, but it's likely starting to get colder and you may see some snowflakes in the next hour or two. Midland exterior sky came in downtown Topeka, still looking dry, cars on the street. Not a lot of cars, but still some cars out on the street. Conditions will worsen as we go throughout the next couple hours going into tomorrow. And Midland exterior sky cam in western Topeka showing that we have a lot of cars along I-70. So there is still some traffic out there. From Noto, not a lot of traffic right now, cloudy skies overall, but that's good to see that a lot of people are heeding the advice of their local weathermen and staying home and staying out of the cold, because it is a dangerous cold once again. Holton right now, it is dark out there, but from Banner Creek Science Center, we are seeing cold weather and we could see some snow there as well. Dew points are very, very low. It's the type of dew points that will chap your lips as soon as you make it out into the outdoors. But we do have dew points currently between around -3 degrees and around -20 degrees. And our relative humidity values are between around the 30th percentile and around the 70th percentile. So we do have some more humid air pushing in. That will help to start really driving the snowmaking process. Right now, that the drier air and the lower relative humidity has been what has stopped us from getting snow falling as we have gone throughout the evening. But we do have that relative humidity that is starting to increase, so we will see snow increase with that. Current wind speeds currently are blowing between around 10 and 20 miles per hour, so it is a little bit gusty or breezy with the snow maybe being on the ground and being blown around. So you'll start to see those travel impacts as far as the snow goes, being blown around and maybe causing some visibility issues. Current wind gusts are between around 10 and around 30 miles per hour. So in places like Emporia, that dusting may even cause some travel issues for you, especially along the I-70 corridor, though, and north, where there may be some gust as well. Gusts are supposed to die off as we go into tomorrow afternoon, really staying lower. It's not going to be what we experienced here in northeastern Kansas last year with gusts in the 30s, 40s, potentially getting into blizzard categories. Not going to deal with that at all. We're just going to deal with some light breezes at times that could stir up some snow on the ground and cause some conditions that won't be pleasing to drive in. But overall, the winds will really stay light and variable, or just a little breeze as we go throughout the next couple days after they calm down going into tomorrow morning. Wind chills overall really chilly. I stepped outside just about an hour ago to go get dinner at my apartment, and it was frigid. I had to put a hat on my ears. And overall right now, around -10 degrees in Topeka, -17 in Emporia, -15 in Manhattan, and -17 in Concordia. The coldest temperatures I've ever been, maybe coldest temperatures you've ever been, especially if you're one of those college students watching us right now. If you are watching us, 24-hour wind chill overall, we will be in the negatives through the next 24 hours. So it will be a quite frigid period here in northeastern Kansas. And we will see those double-digit values even through around 10 or 11 a.m. tomorrow morning before we get into the afternoon hours. And maybe those wind chills level off going into the afternoon overall. 24-hour temperatures overall, we will be between around 4 degrees and around 8 degrees. So it will be chilly. It will feel a lot chillier than the actual single digit temperatures that we will see over the next 24 hours. Tonight's forecast overall, 0 degrees. A big goose egg in Topeka, 0 degrees in Emporia, -1 in Manhattan, and -1 in Concordia, -2 in Marysville and Seneca, and -3 for our lowest temperature in Hiawatha, with that chance for snow. It's going to be cold snow, but it won't be what we saw last year with the blizzard. It will be around 4 to 8 inches in most of the area, heavier amounts just south of the viewing area, and then shorter or smaller amounts in the northernmost portions of our viewing area. 8 degrees though for tomorrow's forecast, 8 in Emporia, 9 in Manhattan, 7 in Concordia, and snowy. Sunday, we will be a little bit warmer. It won't feel warmer though. We'll be around 16 Sunday in Topeka, 14 in Emporia, 19 in Manhattan, 21 in Concordia. Probably may not reach these highs because of the snowpack that will be coming in, but model data and everything will adjust to that when it comes time for the snow to end, and then our temperatures will adjust. Overall, right now on our supercast, you can see that we have temperatures really in the single digits right now with negative wind chills. You can see that those wind chills in the negatives will continue into tomorrow morning. We will see snow throughout the night into tomorrow morning, and then we start seeing a little bit of a gap in the snowfall overall. This is the graph model, and it will remain cold as we go throughout the day. Really seeing kind of bands of snow coming through before snow moves out going into Sunday morning. So overall, going to be a snowy and wintry next 24 to 48 hours, and then we will clear out and we'll still be cold going throughout Sunday into Monday. Our HRRR model shows that we will see snow starting through the next couple hours, maybe a little bit of a break, not as big of a break as we were seeing earlier in the evening, and then we will see more snow throughout the day tomorrow before it ends for most of the northern part of the area, and we are left off of that second wave overall going into Sunday. That's an outcome, and the other one's an outcome. We could see either happen or kind of a mix in between. Euro is showing we see that massive snow and wintry precipitation move into the region. It will move from west to east for the most part, maybe a little bit shift to the northwest. We have that ice down in areas like Texas and southern Oklahoma, Arkansas, into Mississippi, going to cause a lot of travel problems. You're not going to want to travel south at all over the next couple days or maybe next week, but overall that will last throughout tomorrow into maybe even Sunday for some of the area before clearing out overall. We could see a little tail off of that snowfall overall, but I really we are going to be watching for that as we go throughout the end of the main event for y'all. Graph model overall, once again, these snowfall measurements that I'm showing you here, they could actually be higher than what is shown because of the snow to liquid ratio, which is basically the temperatures, the colder they are and the liquid that we have, the colder it is with the liquid that's available for snow to happen in the atmosphere. We will see more snow being produced out of that liquid that we do have currently. And so 2 to 4 inches, just a little bit more than that from the graph, and we will see that number grow, especially for the southernmost portions of our viewing area, to 4 to 8 inches between that by Sunday morning before the snow storm and the winter storm conditions move out of the area. We'll be left with the snowpack. It's going to cause some problems. HRRR model showing about the same solution, 2 to 4 to start out with the first wave. Then that second wave comes through. A little bit of a northward trend on this model, as you can see, because that second wave may happen in a different place. 4 to 8 inches overall, but then you have to take into account that snow to liquid growth ratio. And so we are going to be watching that. We're going to be watching how the atmosphere behaves with the liquid and also the temperatures. Euro model showing that we will see that 2 to 4 to start out with, 4 to 8 by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon into Sunday. And that has also shifted maybe a little bit to the north. It just was kind of along I-70. But we aren't seeing that 8 to 12 though that is staying a little bit further south. Possible snowfall overall, this is a comparison between all the models that we have. The graph, as I showed you, 4.5 for Topeka and lower amounts to the west. And then we see 6.4 inches in Topeka on the Euro. GFS has 3.7. It's been trending a little bit lower throughout this event, hasn't performed great, so we haven't relied a lot on it. And then the NAM, 5.6. So I'm going to say between around 4, 7, or 8 inches like we do have on our possible snow accumulation forecast here. Most of the area, Kansas City, Osage City, Topeka, Council Grove, Abilene, and Salina, 4 to 8 inches of snow will be possible. South of Burlington, along the Missouri-Kansas border, could see 8 to 10 inches of snow, but that's going to stay south of most of the viewing area, except the lowest portions of around Coffee County, where Burlington is located, and then north in places like Holton, maybe northern Manhattan and northern Riley County, Clay Center, Concordia, Marysville, Seneca, and Hiawatha. 2 to 4 inches of snow will be possible, with maybe some mixed in areas that could have higher totals. That is something you could definitely see. Winter Storm Severity Index, overall minor impacts for some of the area through today and Sunday. And then we have areas that could see more moderate impacts. So there will be travel issues. There will be issues with you getting out in the cold. You'll just want to heed caution of authorities, your local weathermen, and also just make good decisions that are smart with this winter weather. 8-day forecast overall. First alert weather days throughout the next 2 days after today for the winter storm. Snow and wind chill values will be lower than negative 15 degrees potentially Saturday, and lower than negative 10 degrees on Sunday, while we do have that chance for morning snow as well. Around 8 degrees for your high on Saturday, 15 for your high on Sunday, negative 1 for your low tonight, so it's going to be chilly, and 2 degrees for your low tomorrow night. With how much snow we could get, that could be adjusted, but we will be around negative 6 for your low going into Monday. So a cold start to the work week. Then wind chill values will be below negative 10 degrees going into Monday. A little sunnier though, and we start that warming trend, but we really don't warm up that much. And the warming trend could be impacted by how much snowfall totals we do get. But right now we're looking to be in the 30s for a couple days, and then back in the 20s after another system that likely won't bring any precipitation with it, just some higher wind gust, but we're likely to see that, and then we will start warming back up potentially once again, with our lows being in the teens for the first time in a little bit. Jeremy?
Excuse me. Am I taking over? All
Yep.
right. All right, max 1, y'all. Sorry. Max 1. Thank you. All right, that's a live view from k.candrive.org, looking from Junction City over toward Interstate 70 right now. You can see Interstate 70 is starting to get covered in snow. This is a live look from our Midland Exterior Skycam network. This is near Maple Hill on the WIBW transmission tower, and you can see the snow coming down there at the tower. Downtown Topeka, if I have the camera zoomed in that close on a city street light, it's kind of like cheating. I am looking to see if I can see any snowflakes at all. And in this case, there's 1, 4, 5, maybe 8. There's not a lot, is what I'm trying to say, but there's some snow falling in Topeka. It looks the same here outside the door of WIBW TV, so it's not covering the road or something like that. I don't want to overstate it, and you can see the roads are fine, but there is some snow flurry activity that is falling in Topeka at this point. Looking outside live in Concordia, it's much different. It's been snowing for a while. It's coming down, it's a moderate in intensity, but if you look at the parking lot lights there, that's the hospital right across the street from Clyde County Community College. You can see the snow coming down pretty well. The visibility there is officially 1.3 miles, so that's not quite to the category of heavy snow, but certainly it's moderate snow, and it's enough that's covering the streets very well. I'll zoom in on the street a little bit closer, and you can see it right there outside of Clyde County Community College. This is not going to melt on contact. All of this is going to stick, and it'll be very, very hard for road crews to clear any of this. It's going to take a while. The temperature is this cold, It just sticks to the road better. It also does not behave well when they put down the different solutions to try to melt snow when you get this cold. The temperature is 0 in Concordia, so not a lot of solutions that will melt things at that temperature. And you can see the flags there blowing around a stiff breeze that currently is 12 miles per hour, but gusting at times as high as about 25 miles per hour. In Council Grove, I have this camera pointed almost straight down right now to look at the lights and see what snowflakes are falling, and also to see the snow covering the ground. I can't see much more than that because the snow is falling there, but it's getting an idea of how heavy it is. And I can still see at least a couple of hundred yards there at minimum, so the snow isn't terribly heavy yet in Council Grove, but there's a pocket of heavy snow that is moving in your direction. All right, wind chill values between -9 and -17. The worst right now still Concordia, leading the way with the coldest temperature at 0. And again, that wind chill in Concordia is currently all the way down to 17 degrees below 0. Live look at Emporia. You have a batch of heavier snow coming your way shortly, already covering part of the streets there. As we go over to my MEDO source, there we go. Again, that is what it looks like from KDOT. We had an image come in a few minutes ago from the National Weather Service. They say that this line right there, that yellow dashed line, that's where they expect to see this burst of snow that's right there near Salina over to Marion. They expect that to be right here along this dashed line by about 9 p.m. There's already some accumulating snowfall happening out ahead of that, but they are mentioning that will be close to areas like Concordia and Emporia, Manhattan by 9 o'clock, which is just 30 minutes from now. So that's what they were looking at, is that burst of snow that's somewhat heavier. There's a look at I-70 near 99 Highway. You can see moderate snow falling there. This is I-70 at Alma, not quite covering the interstate there just yet. This is a little farther to the west. There's Deep Creek Road. This camera has a light very close to the camera, so it makes it look worse than it is. So you kind of have to look between situations where the light's on. You have to watch the interstate there to see how much snow is actually on the road, but some of I-70 there is covered in I-70, but just position of that light makes that one look more apocalyptic than really is going on. Exit 313, that's where you get off I-70 to go to Manhattan. Snow is covering part of the road there. Junction City's partially covered. There's exit 299, a little more coverage. As you get farther west, that's Highway 77 at I-70, and you can see that a lot of I-70 there has snow on it. Getting a bit farther, there's a Milford exit, Chapman exit, and southwestern Kansas around areas like Garden City. It's been worse already because they've had snow falling for longer, but it's coming this way. Check this one out near McPherson too. That's not terrible, but that's where we had the heavier snow falling a little while ago that's moving into our areas. So again, Garden City is where the snow is covering the roads very impressively there. That's Highway 50 at Garden City. There's another image of Highway 50 northbound at Spruce in Garden City, looking to the north there. It says roads may be icy in spots. Yes, that is accurate. All right, so here's the radar. That batch of snow the Weather Service is mentioning is right here. This stuff that's in Cottonwood Falls, getting into Emporia shortly, and that's coming down a little heavier. I wouldn't say it's an inch per hour, but it could snow a half inch over the next hour in Emporia. That's moving into Manhattan and into Concordia as well. As you look a little farther to the south, you can see that zooming out, you can see all this energy that's in western Kansas that's also coming this way. So it's not a small area of snow. This is going to continue to snow on and off all night long, and then for a big portion of the day tomorrow as well. Down to the south, I was actually looking at some DOT, Department of Transportation cameras around Oklahoma City. It didn't look terrible in Oklahoma City yet. Of course, any snow in Oklahoma City is not going to be fun to drive in, but this stuff is what's going to be a very interesting story the next few days, as there is what looks like a freezing rain and sleet mix from San Angelo, Texas, over to just north of Dallas, getting to just about Little Rock, Arkansas at this time. And the computer models have shown some parts of this could see as much as an inch of ice glaze. An ice glaze of an inch will bring down a lot of limbs and power lines, and if you have that, you're almost certainly going to have areas that are without power for a minimum of a few days. But really, if you have, the other problem is that it's such a large area that's dealing with this potential for a thick ice glaze, that if you have such a big area, then a lot of times the power crews will travel several states away to help out other regions whenever they have disasters like this. So if we have power outages of this magnitude that are going on from Texas to Memphis, it could be a situation where it takes many weeks or even a few months, because the people that do that kind of work, it's not unlimited supply of people. They're specialists that specialize in this kind of stuff. So if we wind up with a bunch of power lines and power outages in big, highly populated areas, we could wind up with some towns that don't have power for a significant number of days, weeks, or it could be longer. I don't want to overstate this, but there are going to be power outages. I know that, and the potential is there for there to be a large number of them, and there's potential there for some folks to go without power for a few weeks. So checking the Prairie Band Casino Resort Live Storm Tracker again, it looks like the heavier snow is either in or almost to Emporia at this time, and Supercast will keep us in the snow on and off all night. We'll roll us up to there's 10 p.m. We've got wind chill values still well below zero. It's already minus 17 right now in Concordia, and that's not going to improve. The wind may relax some through the night, and that would improve it, but the wind chill is going to stay bitter all night. There's 8 a.m. tomorrow. This updated version of Supercast, and this is the HRRR model. Earlier, it was keeping us in snow until early afternoon, and then it took a break for a while, and then it brought the heavier snow in just to the south. This version of the model takes a break from 8 a.m. until about 11 a.m., then it fills back in all the way to 5. So this has brought the snowfall projections up for Topeka and Manhattan versus what we had earlier in the day. Either way, we're looking at a pretty widespread area of 4 to 8 inches of snow, and those same areas are where we're going to keep that 4 to 8 inches of snow forecast. Now, down to the south, areas like Emporia, Burlington, even Osage City, Yates Center, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, Kansas, maybe to Olathe. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody in this red circle here gets 10 inches or more snow, or if a lot of people get 10 inches or more snow in that circle. This is really the second wave of energy, and a lot of this snow is going to fall tomorrow night into early Sunday morning. So if we get some really wild, big snowfall totals in Kansas, it's going to be in the circle. Now, Topeka, Holton, Manhattan could easily get 5-6 inches of snow. It's just, I'm saying the double digits, that kind of stuff, is really only in play from Emporia and maybe Osage City to the south. This red line I have drawn in here, that's where I think that we have the highest chance of seeing some of these really wild, high numbers of snow. So on Supercast, again, this is an updated version of the HRRR. If you don't know what this is, it's the High Resolution Rapid Refresh. It's a wild name. It's hard to say H and then 3 R's in a row. We just call it the HRR, a lot of people do. By 4 a.m., it's got us about 1 inch to 3 inches of snow across the area, and that's a pretty solid number. By 10 a.m. tomorrow, we've got some spots that are in the 4-inch category, and this is all going to be this fine, powdery snow. And as Mitchell was mentioning earlier, it is difficult to project how much snow is going to fall when the computers are estimating this as a 10-to-1 ratio. So 10-to-1 ratio means that the computer is saying if we got 1 inch of snow, I would multiply that by 10 and project that or 1 inch of moisture. It's going to say that 1 inch of moisture would actually be 10 inches of snow. Sometimes your snow ratio could be 20-to-1. Sometimes it's 5-to-1. It really varies. And in situations where it's super cold like it is today, sometimes that ratio can be really big. So right now the computer is projecting based on 10-to-1 snow numbers. It could be higher. It could be 20-to-1. So some of these spots that are showing 3s and 4s could be double that. That's why we're saying that 8 is still in play. But the computer model, I'd say this is a good idea of a starting point. And the numbers could be slightly above this, slightly below it, but really the 4 to 8 inch range we've been talking about, I really think that that's solid in that area. So Topeka, the computer model showing exactly 5.9, but if it's between 4 and 8, anything in that range would not surprise me. Burlington, Emporia showing 6 and 6.5, but this area down to the south, again, that's the area I would be watching for to see somebody. If you go to the 8 or 10 inch range, it's going to be down there. Manhattan Clay Center, if we update this forecast map, Mitchell, I'm just talking to you to coordinate. I'm going to talk to him about stuff we're coordinating this as well. We talked about this earlier. If I might think about moving that 4 to 8 inch farther to Clay Center based on this latest HRRR. So we'll kick that back and forth later, okay? I'm not saying to commit to it now, but something I've got in my mind that after seeing it knew her, that it's got it.
I totally agree.
You think same thing? I like it. I like when Mitchell and I are on the same page. All right. But I do like, Mitchell's younger and hasn't been doing this as long, but you know, it's good to bounce it off into the trained professional and say, hey, what do you think? And if he's agreeing with the same kind of thing, then that's a change we would probably make. So Clay Center, Manhattan, we have you in this 2 to 4. We're probably going to drag this line up farther based on what we're seeing on the HRR model. All right, so I'm going to tell you again to keep the pets safe, and if you can bring them in, please do. Mitchell, go for a while. What do you got?
All right, so I'm going to go back through everything, give you another look at the cameras overall. If we could have it to max 2, please, that would be great. First alert weather days, once again, through midnight we have 1, and then we have 2 more, one for tomorrow, midnight through around the afternoon, and then Saturday night through Sunday morning. Overall, through midnight, most areas will be dry. Any snow trace amounts to 1 inch. Midnight through around 12 p.m. or lunchtime tomorrow, 1 to 4 inches. Breaks for many, maybe in the afternoon. Now that's trending towards maybe that short break between around 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's something we will be watching, and I will definitely have for y'all on my forecast in the morning as well. And then Saturday night through Sunday morning, that additional 2 to 4 inch opportunity, mainly along and south of I-70. So we could get that opportunity along and south of I-70. Overall, Prairie Band Casino Resort live storm tracker. Right now we have that massive snow, the massive snowstorm that we are dealing with. Low pressure is located somewhere around here. We then have that ice along in Texas and Oklahoma. So overall, it's just a big mess over the central United States right now. 5 degrees right now in Topeka, 4 in Emporia, 8 in Wichita, 0 in Concordia, 3 in Hayes, and 1 in Colby. So it feels like the Arctic or Antarctic here in Kansas currently, and also into Oklahoma. It might even be a little cooler down there because that's where the cold patch really pushes in, and they're supposed to get a lot of snow as well in areas like Miami and Tulsa. Around there, we'll get a lot of snow and a lot of cold as well. So overall, zooming in on northeastern Kansas, really where you see white, a lot of it's not making it to the ground. Some may be making it to the ground, but that's really where the flurries are falling. But you're getting more heavy accumulating snowfall in the darker blue or slate gray areas right now around northeast Kansas. So we are watching on the cameras and the can drive cameras as well to see where snow is actually falling, and that's why we are streaming right now and currently showing y'all all of that information. 5 degrees in Topeka, 3 in Manhattan, 0 once again in Concordia, and 4 in Emporia. So overall, just a mess around the area. You don't want to be out in it. It's also very cold. It will be cold enough that if you stay out 30 minutes or longer, you could get frostbite or suffer from hypothermia, and we don't want you to do that, obviously. Advisories, watches, and warnings extend all the way from Arizona on the other side of the Rockies all the way to around Maine, and that is a total of 2,323.5 miles. A huge swath of the country is dealing with this. We are not alone. Like we basically were last time with the winter storm in December. So a lot of people are dealing with this. Extreme cold advisories for much of the south as well. We have a cold weather advisory here for wind chills in the negatives throughout the next 48, 72 hours. So it's going to be chilly and cold and all the other adjectives you want to throw out about cold weather, and maybe even ones that you want to throw out about how you feel about it. It's just going to be uncomfortable if you're outside overall. So I would recommend staying inside, maybe watching a movie, maybe playing with Legos inside if you have kids, maybe even, popping some popcorn and just enjoying a nice day watching a whole series of a TV show. It's just going to be that cold and that type of day, and you just want to lounge and relax maybe on your lazy boy. I know I do, but I'm going to be working and serving y'all here in northeastern Kansas, and I'm happy to do it. Overall, right now, zooming on in northeastern Kansas, you can see that we have a winter storm warning lasting till around Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we are going to deal with that winter weather through Sunday at least. It's going to still be on the ground. That snow's not going to melt quick because we do have frigid temperatures as well through Sunday into Monday and also Tuesday before we start to see those temperatures get above freezing. But even with those temperatures above freezing, you know from December where that snowpack lasted about a week, week and a half, and you know from the blizzard where that snowpack lasted a week or two, we won't see that snow melt immediately. So it will make the feeling of it being a little cooler than it actually is. Winter weather advisory overall Sunday until 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for really the northernmost portions of our viewing area along the Kansas-Nebraska border. That's something to watch out for as well. And our advisories, watches, and warnings currently right now, we do have that cold weather advisory until Monday at 12 p.m. Dangerous wind chill values lasting through the weekend into Monday. Even towards your commute to work, we will be dealing with stuff like this. So if you're headed out to work, you want to grab that jacket. If the kids end up having school on Monday, even with the snow on the ground and the cold weather, you want to really layer them up as they head to school. Overall, right now, Midland exteriors, Skycam and Concordia, you can see that dusting has turned into a little bit more of accumulating snow overall out there. It's a scene you've seen a couple times this winter with falling snow and these hills around that hospital turning white, the parking lots turning white as well. Well, it's happening again right now. Manhattan right now, maybe seeing some snow as well as the parking lot outside Bill Snyder Family Stadium does look a little bit white and snowy, and the lights are currently on there, giving us a little bit better view of around that area. You can see the white powder on the ground. That's obviously called snow. Flurries or snow may be falling there in Council Grove. As you can see, some flurries or snowflakes just falling right below my hand overall. Also, you may see some interference just from the camera, but overall, most of that is snow that is falling right now. And from downtown Emporia, dusting to starting to accumulate snow there as well. Maybe a little snow on this lone car out there along that stretch of the street. And then you have a couple other cars, and you can see some flying snowflakes. But overall right now, it's not accumulating to where it's causing those travel issues, but it will start to do that as we go throughout this evening. And then from Maple Hill, it is pouring a little bit of snowflakes right now, as you can see with that light right there. And so we are watching where snow is actually falling once again. Not seeing a lot of action yet here in the capital city in downtown Topeka currently. West Topeka, not seeing a lot there either. Not very zoomed in there, but you can still see cars along I-70. So if you're going out tonight, you'll want to practice extreme caution. As if you go out tomorrow, even more extreme caution. You'll probably want to pack a winter kit in case your car dies or you get stuck on the roads. I really wouldn't recommend traveling though, because the dangerous wind chills, if you get stuck in those, you could suffer really quick, and that would not be fun. Unfortunately, Topeka, Nodo, currently showing some cloudy skies. Not seeing a lot of cars along the stretch in Nodo, and you can see the beautiful mural down there. Not a lot of people in the park. Actually, no people in the park, which is good because you don't want to freeze out there. But it's a beautiful park to go to when it is a little bit warmer, especially in the summer. Banner Creek Science Center, not lit out there, but overall looks to be cloudy skies right now with a little bit of that light pollution. You can see the cloud cover along the horizon. Dew points right now are in the single-digit negatives and also into the negative teens. So it does feel dry overall as far as the air goes, because colder air usually feels a little bit drier. Relative humidity values are climbing quickly from the 30s into the 70s along that first band of snow that we're starting to see. And that's going to start stirring up some of that really snow-making process, that relative humidity that increases. Current wind speeds between around 10, 11, 12 miles per hour overall. So not too bad as far as our wind speeds go, but it may cause some travel issues with that blowing snow that you may see while traveling at fast speeds along the interstate. Current wind gusts to the south of our area mostly are a little bit higher, around 21 in Council Grove, 21 in Burlington. So if it's snowing there right now, you may have some more issues down there along I-335 and I-35. And so I would watch out for that. A little faster in Lawrence at 22 miles per hour from the northeast. And also you have between around 13 and 18 miles per hour for those gusts in the northern part of our viewing area. Winds will level off as we go through tomorrow morning. Overall, we will see that leveling off, which will really calm down the risk for that travel impact with the blowing snow. But overall, going through the morning, and potentially if we have that band of snow that Jeremy was talking about earlier, that really may stay around longer and then take a shorter break, it could cause more issues as the winds really don't break down as much. Wind chills overall, you can see that we are currently around negative 10 degrees for your wind chill in Topeka, negative 16 in Emporia, negative 10 in Council Grove, negative 11 in Clay Center, and negative 17 in Concordia. 24-hour wind chills overall. It's just going to be frigid. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a day you don't want to go outside. In the double-digit negatives through at least around lunchtime, going into tomorrow, then we get in the single-digit negatives. So not a lot of upside there overall, and then we'll return to the double-digit negatives going into the nighttime hours and into Sunday morning. So not a lot to look forward to overall as far as your wind chill temperatures go. It's just going to feel flat out, really bad outside, and kind of hurtful to your skin as well if you stay out too long. Overall, 24-hour temperatures, you'll see those temperatures in the single digits throughout the whole night tonight, tomorrow, likely into Sunday as well, and maybe even into Monday. Tonight's forecast overall, 0 in Topeka, negative 1 in Lawrence, negative 2 in Oskaloosa, 0 degrees in Emporia, 0 in Council Grove, negative 1 in Manhattan, negative 1 in Concordia, negative 2 in Marysville and Seneca, negative 3 in Hiawatha, and snowy. That's the good side. You see snow. Temperatures are just going to be brutal. Snow, happy. Temperatures, bad. Tomorrow's forecast overall, 8 degrees in Emporia, 9 in Manhattan, 7 in Concordia, and snowy. You may be able to enjoy that snow, but it will need to be for a short time. You don't want to sled for a long hour or two out there, or you might suffer from hypothermia or frostbite. It's dangerous Arctic air. It's not the warmer 20s, 30s that we had in December, where you could have enjoyed sledding outside from that snow. 16 degrees in Topeka, first Sunday, 14 in Emporia, 19 in Manhattan, 21 in Concordia. Then you have a little bit more sunshine, so that's a happy thought, a little bit more sunshine on Sunday, as the sun will come out tomorrow after tomorrow. Supercast overall showing that we'll see that snow fizzles off a little bit tomorrow morning. Now the graph is catching up with that idea, and so we probably will increase that line of accumulations, which I'll share those coming up, that we will extend that line of 4 to 8 inches up near Clay Center in Manhattan, whereas it was just sitting just south of that area earlier. We now probably will do that as a team because the models are really in agreement that that corridor could really stay around there and really continue pouring snow throughout that time. Then we could see more snow in the afternoon. Snow showers mainly, like isolated in nature, but it will be cold, it will be snowy. Then that second wave may start or may really stay to our south as we go into Sunday. Overall, you can see we will be drier on Sunday afternoon into Monday. Still cold though. It will be still frigid. You'll not want to go outside. If you have to go to school or work for some reason on Monday, you'll want to probably wear like 30 layers, honestly. Supercast HRRR, we will see that snow, and it will continue throughout tomorrow morning. Maybe a short break, around 2 to 3 hours between around 8 or 9 to around 10 or 11. It will be very minuscule in regard to what models were showing earlier. We'll continue to see that through the afternoon. Then this model is showing that most of that second wave will stay to the south. But overall, we are expecting just a lot of snow and a lot of cold. Euro showing the same thing, that we'll see that massive snow just continuing in one piece before moving out on Saturday. We could see a small short wave or just small area of snow along the back end of that system come through by Monday morning. That could bring snow to maybe our westernmost portions of the viewing area or just outside of our viewing area into western Kansas. That's something we'll be watching out for. It definitely will increase the winds partly, though, so we will be watching for the snow that's on the ground to be pushed a little bit around as well. And then that moves out and we be stuck with variable conditions throughout the week, but it will be cold overall. Graph model overall showing that we'll see around 4 to 8 inches for most of the area. This translated is around 6 to 8 inches for this blue area, and really into this area is more like the 2 to 4, 5, 6 range as well. And then higher than that will be around the actual 2 to 4 inches, because we do have these models, but they are producing these accumulations at a 10 to 1 ratio, while our snow that we will be seeing falling will actually be between around 15 to 20 at times, especially for the earlier snowfall that we see. So the more snowfall we get earlier, the more likely we will see greater accumulations. HRRR, we will see that snowfall throughout the next couple days, overall seeing 4 to 8 for most of the area, meaning that those accumulation totals are increasing a little bit. And you can see the same picture from the Euro, 4 to 8, with adjustments being made with the snow to liquid ratios overall. So that's something we're going to be watching out for, doing the math, doing our meteorology, and we will be really stretching the message home to y'all as we go throughout the next couple of days. This is just a comparison between all the models. They're really in agreement besides this one, who's not been in agreement at all, the GFS. And then possible snowfall totals overall, once again, 4 to 8 inches. This is actual adjusted data here. And we think we will push this up to around Clay Center or just south of Concordia, because some of the models are showing less of a gap. But overall, totals we will not be changing. So 2 to 4 for places like Holton, Seneca, Marysville, Hiawatha, maybe even including Holton, Clay Center in that 4 to 8 inch territory now. And then south, Burlington, areas of Coffee County may see 8 to 10 inches. Areas just outside of our viewing area in Anderson, Lynn, Franklin, and also Miami may see that 8 to 10 category as well. That's something we just need to watch out for as we go throughout the next day or so. Winter Storm Severity Index, overall minor impacts as we go throughout the next day or so. And as we go back to the graphic, you can see on our 8-day forecast, overall winter storm throughout the next 2 days. We see 8 inches on Saturday, then or 8 degrees on Saturday, 15 on Sunday for your high, and then we'll be warming up a little bit overall. Jeremy, you want to get back up on the green screen?
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead. Go ahead and switch me over to Max 1 if you guys will. It may go black for a moment, but that's okay. All right, so in Emporia, we're getting this band of some heavier snow moving in. That's the live look from our Midland Exteriors Skycam network, and this is at the Lyon County History Center. And you can see that a few minutes ago, we had just a few pockets of the road was covered in snow. Now it's almost the entire road. You can see the snow falling there and the city lights there in downtown Emporia. So that's the view there in Emporia right now. I'm going to jump out to another graphic here. This is something kind of different, but look at this. This is the local storm reports from across much of the nation. And what's interesting about this, see right there that number, minus 58. That's a wind chill value up in North Dakota, I believe. Let's check out what that is. Somebody up there had a minus 58. Langdon, North Dakota. a wind chill of minus 58, and breaking down into South Dakota here, look at all these, minus 35, minus 41. There's all kinds of folks there with minus 30 or worse. We get down to Kansas, and this is still dangerously cold, but it's just a different world. They deal with some wild wind chills up here. So for us, certainly minus 10 to minus 20 is problematic. But my goodness, to look at all those values up there, they're so far below zero, is just really amazing to see. So again, around Garden City, they already have a good coating of snow covering the roads and the highways. This is KDOT closer to home on I-70, just to the west of Alma. That's at Alma, and getting some snow covering I-70 there near Alma. It's not extreme by any means. Deep Creek Road, that one always looks extreme because the light close to the camera. I-70 at exit 313 has some snow on it. Junction City, we're getting some snow coverage on the highway as well. That's the west side of Junction City, closer to Highway 77. And then going on down the road, the farther west you go, it becomes just a bit more messy. There's Abilene, Solomon, into Salina. So the farther west and southwest you go, the snow is already deeper because it's been falling a bit longer. There's our transmission tower. In downtown Topeka, it's still just snow flurries. It is not heavy outside and downtown by any means at this point. Looking at Concordia, though, we've seen snow falling for a while. I wouldn't say that's an inch deep. It might be a quarter or a half inch deep at this point there in Concordia, but snow is covering the road almost completely, and you can see it in the street lights there that the snow is still falling, and we've got a wind chill of minus 16 with a temperature of 0 and the visibility of 1.3 miles at this point as you look across toward the hospital across the street there. There's the view in Council Grove, and just the position of this camera, it's kind of hard to see at night, so I've got it pointed down toward the lights so I can see snow covering the ground, and you can see snow falling in the lights there, but I can at least see a couple of 100 feet because I can see the ground. Sometimes you can't when the snow becomes heavier. You can't really even see that far. Let's zoom out on the wind chills right now. Way up there, that value is going to be something scary up there. It looks like the eye on Jupiter or something, but the worst wind chills are up north. We have wind chills ranging now from minus 10 to minus 17, and nobody in northeast Kansas in this map is warmer than minus 10. So the worst of the Arctic air certainly is showing up, with these winds that are gusting as high as 20 miles per hour. So this isn't blizzard worthy for the wind gusts by any means. It's just strong enough winds with temperatures that are 0 to 5 degrees that any kind of wind at all makes the wind chill really start to pop when it's this cold. So there's the view again from downtown Emporia. That's from the Lyon County History Center, is where that is in downtown Emporia right now. And again, this is covering a lot of the road. You can still get through. I don't want to say that it's extreme, but this is really kind of the beginning of it. And it's going to snow all night for a lot of these areas. So it's already snowing. It's going to continue to snow all night. And many of us will have a couple of inches of snow on the ground by the time you wake up. Live look outside the TV station here at WIBW TV. And we're seeing some snow flurries in the lights here, but in Topeka, it hasn't really kicked in just yet. So here's that burst that just went through Emporia, covering a lot of the streets with snow. Zooming out more, down to Oklahoma City. They have a couple of inches of snow on the ground. You can still get through okay, but the snow is more extreme for our neighbors down to the south. So on Supercast through the night, we expect to see the snow staying with us all night long, and it's going to be several inches by the time folks wake up. We'll have updated data on 13 News at 10, of course, but we just showed you the latest computer model from the HRRR, and it sounds like laughing or something, but the high resolution rapid refresh, that's the model name. And if you look it up online, it's not private data. It's not something only we have. You can look up the high resolution rapid refresh. Just look up the HRRR model, and you can check it out yourself and see it. And just remember that the time here is going to show time in Zulu. So remember that Central Time is a 6-hour difference from what they have on the model. So you can check it out. It's pretty interesting. But overnight, the computer model keeps the snow around. We may take a break for a couple hours from the snow in the morning. That's the latest update on this. Then it fills back in. So yesterday, or earlier today, we weren't seeing it fill back in like this on the computer model. So it's really it'll make a big difference when we take a break from snow if we take a break from snow or if the dry air from the north starts to undercut this and shut it down. Either way, we should still see most people with at least 4 inches of snow. That's the low side on this. The high side numbers are still in play. And if anybody goes double-digit snow, 10 inches or more snow, like something like that, it's going to be down here. Emporia, Burlington, maybe Osage City, Olathe could get into that. And that would be a final total that occurs by Sunday morning. So if somebody wakes up in Emporia tomorrow and says, where's the 10 inches of snow? It's not over yet. You know, I'm talking about by Sunday morning. Or Burlington, if you wake up tomorrow morning and say, Jeremy said it's snow a foot. I'm not saying it'll snow a foot. I'm saying it could snow 10 inches, and if it does, it would be finished by sometime early Sunday morning. I am saying that Concordia, Marysville, it's very unlikely you'd see something like that, probably not even in the realm of possibilities, really. But here's what we have on the computer models, and these numbers could be higher than this because the snow to water ratio is going to be probably significant. Either way, snow values of 4 to 8 inches are in play for really most of us. If we see anything bigger than an 8, it's going to be down in this area, south of Osage City, Emporia, Burlington, Yates Center, Ottawa, down to Pittsburgh, Kansas. And again, this batch here we have in this darker blue. That's a really solid range for 4 to 8 for most folks by the time this wraps up on Sunday morning. So we'll see what kind of breaks we get in the snow tomorrow, if it stops or if it continues all day. And when we see the computer models coming in tomorrow morning, it should give us a better idea if that break's going to happen or not. But for now, it certainly looks like this 4 to 8's in play. All right, so in this extreme cold like this, remind folks one more time, you got to just take care of the pets. If they're out in this extreme cold, I mean, we don't see wind chill values of -10 to -20 very often. This is rare. So make sure if they have to be outside, make sure they've got shelter. Make sure they've got a dry blanket or some straw. Make sure they have access to unfrozen water. If you've got your cat's water or the dog's water outside, it's already ice within 5 minutes. Increase their meal size if they have to be out there. And if you can, bring them inside. I even added a cute cat on here to try to give them a better chance. And then I added this one. So the dog's giving you the sad eyes. Just look at these eyes. Come on. It's cold. Step out there for a minute. Would you want to sleep out there? All right, so the cat's going to jump up here in a minute. Where is he? Come on. Where is he? I worked really. Oh, there he is. All right. So doing my part to get those critters in from the cold night. So we have a first alert weather day. We don't break these out every time it rains or every time there's a rumble of thunder. But if first alert weather day, if we're saying that, we mean there is dangerous weather that can harm people, and this is that category. So tonight, snow several inches. Tomorrow is going to have a wind chill of 10 to 15 below all day long. Sunday could be just as cold. The snow will end sometime Sunday morning. Monday, -6 in the morning. I'm going with -10 for a wind chill right now, but there are computer models that show it being closer to -20. So Monday still I saw some forecasting to do for Monday. Either way, it's going to be cold. So, of course, there's no school on the weekend, right? Watch out for Monday as a potential day that you could have some schools closed. I'm not saying they're going to close, so hear me out. I'm not saying schools are closed on Monday. Didn't say that. I am saying that if the wind chill goes something like -20 or worse on Monday morning and there's still some snow on the roads, it would not surprise me to see some schools either go with a delayed start or say, hey, we're going to go ahead and close the day and just make it safe, just be a little safer. So just you moms and dads, be aware that's a possibility for Monday. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I've seen this movie before a few times in the 25 years that I've been here, and that's something that is a possibility. All right, we're going to break off the live stream and get ready for the 10 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us here on WIBW.com and on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, we'll do more and more of these things. And on Roku, too. And if you're not on those things, we have thousands of people that are now watching us on Roku, which is amazing. If you haven't already, make sure you download the WIBW Weather app. We send out a lot of updates with that, especially as we get into tornado season. Winter storms are big, slow-moving things that go on for several days. When we have a storm popping up that I think might become tornadic, sometimes I give you more of a heads up than just, hey, a warning was issued. So I do encourage you to make sure you download the WIBW Weather app. We have more than 70,000 people are using it every month. We had more than 2 million video views last year alone, and it climbs every year. So we're going to continue doing these kind of things, not just on TV, but on social, on the apps. Everywhere you are, we're going to try to be there and serve you with weather information. All right, have a great night. We'll see you on 13 News at 10.